And hey, hello there folks, it's me RJB from RJBTV, and today we're going to look at game number 3 between Burgersasu and 458, and I have this feeling that this is going to be the best game of this series, maybe even the best game of the past couple of weeks, if not month, or maybe even months. All in all, this game is gonna be great. So strap on that seatbelt, lean back in that car seat, and enjoy the ride, because we're going to be cruising into a roller coaster of a game, and you're going to have to be holding onto those handlebars, because oh boy, this one is gonna be absolutely fire. Also the score, I put this wrong score at the top. It's 1 win for Burger, 1 win for 458. They both have 1 single win. And we have a pretty good spawn location situation going on here with both players on opposite ends of the map, and that most of the time means that we are going to be witnessing a really fun match. Corner spawn against corner spawn, Protoss against Zerg, Burgersasu against 458. So the previous game, if I remember correctly, we had a Terran against Protoss with Burgersasu defending himself actually phenomenally well, and then he made some questionable choices thinking he was very smart, and it looked smart at first hand, but then he shot himself in the foot and killed his own economy with mines, and he died miserably. Let's hope we can prevent that from happening. Let's hope Burgersasu can prevent himself from making stupid choices that cost him the game. Like, he literally defeated himself in the previous game. 458 played great, but not that great. It was largely Burgersasu defeating himself, trying to win the game. It was a really funny thing to watch. You don't often see someone placing mines like all over their main command center, and then they get dropped and the mines explode on their SCVs, and then they lose the game because they got no money left and no economy left. It doesn't often happen, but Burgersasu gave us that treat and made it happen. So now we got Burgersasu here on the top. He went for a hatchery, then a pool, then Overlord, then a third hatchery, and he's gonna go for maybe 1 or 2 sunks in the front, and maybe save 3 larvae, 4, 6 zerglings, and scout the map and maybe attack with those zerglings. Usually, people save up 3 larvae, so that after the pool finishes, they can make 6 zerglings, because you need at least 6 zerglings to defend yourself from a Protoss rush. So this one is going to be a drone. So actually, because he hasn't been scouted that early, like he only gets scouted right now, he decides to opt for 4 zerglings, so 2 groups, and 1 sunken. It is kind of risky because a chance does exist that the enemy is in fact rushing, which 458 is in fact not doing. He went for Nexus, Gateway Forge. He can attack from this point onwards, but it's no longer a rush. A rush happens typically before the 3 to 4 minute mark and is pretty dedicated to doing some real damage, which he can no longer do. Over in the middle there, looking for a mid gate, like a gateway on the middle. There's no gateways on the middle, luckily for Burgersasu. Is getting a second sunken and using those 4 zerglings to chase that probe around, and hopes that 458 is going to make a mistake and the probe dies like that. Like, you can theoretically keep the probe alive for much longer if you control it well enough, but Burgersasu was chasing it down. 1 single mistake, probe goes down. Burgersasu is either gonna ball up a small amount of like 5 to 6 zealots and try to maybe attack the choke, or he's gonna protect the probe with the zealots to build some cannons on the middle. Now Burgersasu, of course, is going to try to kill the probe and stop the warping in of cannons on the middle, because that would make the game a lot easier for him, because 1, it would force 458 to send another probe, which should give him like another 30 to 45 seconds before cannons come up on the middle. But 458 defended that pretty well, managed to kill 1 zergling. The other one goes for a scout into 458's base, where you will see that there shouldn't be a robotics yet, if he does get into the backside. Like, he hasn't really seen everything. He hasn't seen this section. Okay, so he doesn't get that much information. Sees 1 gateway. I think he saw the gateways and the forge. No, didn't see the forge, so he saw the gateways. So pretty much no information there, other than he's got 3 gateways. And on the middle, he should be seeing a robotics warping in, pulled over to the side, so he knows robotics exist. The cannons are there to keep Burgersasu contained, but also to keep the Overlord away and to protect the robotics and the zealots, so they can ball up a nice force of units and then go for a frontal push attack. Now Burgersasu has his first gas finished. Usually you want a gas to finish right when the robotics finishes, and then you can start your Hydralisk Den when the robotics is finished. Like, what I meant to say is, usually you get your gas when the robotics starts. Like, you want your gas to have finished when the robotics starts. Then you get your Hydralisk Den right before the robos finish, or right when the robos finish. Then you get Hydralisk speed and a bunch of Hydralisks. It's now 29 drones, so that's a pretty good amount. That is about the amount you want to be shooting for before you start your Hydralisks. Now sometimes people go for like 24 drones in the case the enemy has a way faster robotics, but usually 30 is a pretty good point to go for. Now goes over with a frontal attack, Zerking there is blocking the path, which forces him to go and hit those Sunkens, but that's a lot of Zealots and not enough Sunkens. But the Zerkins come in from the back to help protect the Sunkens, and the Zealots will go down. And I don't think that the Zealot did enough damage to justify that attack. Like, he almost gets the Sunkens, but he should have just... At this point, I would say if the Sunkens are that low, just go for the attack and try to kill the Sunkens. Like, don't pull back. Just lose the Zealots and kill these two. Because now, he lost almost all the Zealots, but he killed only one Sunken. And these two Sunkens are going to heal up slowly over time. So I don't think that was worth it. He should have just killed those two and take the losses. And then rely on the Reavers spawning very soon to go for a push. Now do note, he did not go for a shuttle. Just went for a triple Reaver without his shuttle. So he's not going to go for a drop. He wants to go for the frontal attack with Zealot speed and level 1 attack. He's getting the Zealot speed right there and level 1 attack. So triple Gamer production. And given that information that he wants to go for a frontal push with Zealots and Reavers, it was literally a waste of units to go for the attack this earlier. Because you would have had way more Zealots in addition to the Reavers to just really break through. He pulled the trigger too early. He came too early. He just came too early, too quick. So now the Reavers are going to do the work. They're going to push forward, kill those Sunkens in the front. The Zealots are going to keep balling up. Might add on 1 or 2 more gateways after he gets like 55 probes. Just start in the back there to push Overlords away from the hills to produce vision that Burgersasu has. Because right now, Burgersasu has a lot of vision. And we're on the sides and even here on the middle. You can see the robo. So he's got information. And that's information that Burgersasu wants to take, that 4v8 wants to take away. Also, the Overlords give him more reaction time to shuttle drops. Like, you have this amount extra, that's like 2 seconds, more reaction time. Plus, it is a lot easier to see on the minimap when you have this extra vision on the minimap. It's a lot easier to see things than if things can only be seen once it's in your base. So now 54 drones, he really pushed his limit by not going for a Hydralisk earlier than this. Like, this is risky play. Imagine if 458 had a shuttle. There would have been nothing at the back to defend against the shuttle. So he droned up to 54 though. That's huge, it's huge. So in this situation you can see that 458 didn't go for the shuttle drop, and Burgersasu gambled that 458 was not going for the shuttle drop. Now he did have vision from this, so maybe if he saw a shuttle get out of here, he would have maybe gone for more Hydralisks, but he really delayed his Hydralisks by a lot. An insane amount. Now, because he has so many drones, he can start producing a lot of Hydralisks from this point onwards, but he has to kind of wait a little bit longer for more Hydralisks to spawn. He's got a Spire on the way. Pretty strong 4C from 458. This can theoretically win the game if he doesn't go in too early. So he goes in, the Reavers can... If the Reavers have good Scarab hits, they can kill everything, but the Zealots go in way too far, and the Zealots are dying pretty quick. Reavers crawl up too close. Way too close. The Reavers are so close to even getting hit by the Sunkens. And that push, even though he killed like this entire frontal section, 458 loses his entire army. You just have a couple new units here on the middle that are slowly spawning and getting warped in and crawling to the rally point. But I think 458 kind of miscontrolled that push. Should have kept the Zealots further back and let the Reavers push forward a little bit more, and when the Hydralisks try to come in to kill the Reavers, that is when the Zealots attack to the front to protect the Reavers and keep the Hydralisks away, which will then allow the Reavers to kill the Hydralisks without much issue. But he kind of fumbled that move. So now we have Burgersasu on 62 drones against a double Nexus Protoss that has 55 pro. So that's a huge advantage there for Burgersasu. Supply count is also almost the same. Tries to stop the cannons on the bottom, but the cannons finish up. The mutants are a little bit too slow. There's some coursers in the one courser in the front. So right now you can notice that 4 of 8 is staying back. He's staying back because he cannot deal with the Mutalisks. There's nothing he has that can deal with the Mutalisks. Like there's 4 Corsairs, like 1 here, 3 there. But there's Scourgers in the mix as well, which will take care of the Corsairs. So the Corsairs at the moment are not as effective as they would like to be. He needs at least like 6 to 8 Corsairs to really push forward with the Reavers. And maybe he needs some Dragoons, which he doesn't have at the moment. We have one more Stargate there coming on the way, like getting level 1 attack there for his Corsairs. Level 1 attack indeed. Level 1 attack there on the Zealots. Getting level 1 shield as well. 2 more Hatchers coming in there for Burgersasu. And we have double Evo Chamber with 1-1 already finished and 2-2 will soon be on the way. He's on level 2 attack already. Carapace is getting research now as well. Getting Overlord, Speed, and Transportation. Maybe just Speed and Transportation later. Kind of depends on when he gets that Queen's Nest. So 3 hatched down the top corner. We got 6, 7, another 6 for 13 at the moment. That's a very good amount. That's a very, very good amount. You can play out this entire game on 13 hatcheries. You can always build more of them, which is great. But you really only need like at least 12. And then you can play against Protoss however you want. As long as you have the diverse technology as well. Like he's gonna get... Is he gonna get transportation now? No, he's not gonna get squeezes either. He's building a lot of Sunkas in the front. He pulled some drones off the minerals to build Sunkas in the front to push back towards this choke and seal off the entrance and make pushing forward once again harder for 458. So now we do have a pretty nice number of Corsairs. We have a very good number of... way too many shuttles actually. He overshot the shuttle mark quite a bit, but he's gonna put everything into the shuttles because Burgersasu is seemingly expecting a frontal push. And 4 of 8 is instead going for a big drop. But 4 of 8 might have seen some of the Overlords from the shuttles with an Overlord. I'm not too sure, didn't see it. But now it's going to come over the bottom side where we do have some Hydralisks waiting in between. There's Lurkers morphing in the back. So he's going to arrive before the Lurkers have finished, which is huge. It's huge because now the Reavers are going to have some free firing time. Big army going to unload. They're on the scene. Drones are running to safety. A couple drones are still there on the minerals. That's 9 going to go down. So back to 56. And he gets a good surround there on those Reavers. The lair almost dies. The lair will survive. That's very close. Oh, that's so close. That's so close. So he almost gets the lair. But it's going to be a hive very soon. And the hive is going to add like 700 HP to that. So it's going to be a little healthy. Not very healthy. So 4 of 8 needs 1 more big drop on the hive to take it down. But like 54 HP, that's very close. The game could have technically been kind of over if he had gone it right with that big drop. There was a very good move there from 458. A little bit lucky that Burgersasu did not have lurkers of his own set up around his hive like this just yet. A little bit lucky. A little bit lucky. So now we have 755 HP there on the hive. Not great. Like it's still below 1/3. Well, actually it's just over 1/3. But it's not great. It's not great. He's getting a greater spire. Now he's got triple Evo Chamber. I don't see the Defiler mount yet. He is still on 13 hatcheries. We have, I'd say that's 7 robots on the middle. Another big Reaver drop getting picked up. Gonna fly in. Course is ready to escort it in. And there's Queens on the sides now for ensnare on those shuttle drops. Gonna be very difficult to get those in if they can ensnare. Does he have energy for ensnare there? Let's take a look. He's got energy for ensnare, so this shuttle drop there comes over the top side. And he is not going to ensnare because he has no energy, actually. He was 3 off. But he arrives on the corner, going to try to take down that hive. Reaver shooting, and that's another 350 HP gone. So if he can do the exact same thing again, that's just 2 more drops. Maybe even just 1 more drop. But the Lurkers are going to be the key in defending. He has to put the Lurkers up a little bit better, though. Like, the Lurkers are pretty concentrated in this little section right here. And here in the front. There's only 2 of them there in the back. We have a lot of Hydralisks in the back, but the backside is definitely slower to kill. If he puts them a little bit more spread out, and like a couple here, a couple there, a couple below, and a couple on the bottom right, it should be a little bit more balanced in terms of damage dealt to whatever is unloaded on the scene. Yeah, the game is looking very good there for 458, but you can never count Burgersasu out at this point. Burgersasu might actually just keep this hive alive for the rest of the game. There's a chance that 4 of 8 is never ever going to take it down, even though it only has 421 HP. And it's going to very slowly recover. But first, 4 of 8 there is going to try to draw units to the front by starting a frontal push. He's very close to getting the hive, but he knows that at this point, if he drops a huge army on the hive, Burgersasu is going to push out with his army because he's got guardians and hydralisks everywhere waiting to push. So 458 is playing is really smart. He knows I cannot unload 60 army supply on top of the hive and leave Burgersasu with a 200 to 140 army supply lead, which will allow him to push out. So now the game becomes a very intricate game for 458. He has to make some very tough choices because Burgersasu is ready to punch back. He is ready to punch back 5 more hatcheries. We're going to get 18 in total. Guardians are starting their push on the sides to kill those cannons and take back control of the map. Currently he's in prison and now he's breaking free. He's breaking free. We got level 3-3 there on the high list very soon. He's got 3-3 on the way. Actually, he just started the 3 at Carapace. That's level 1 attack for ground and level 3 attack there for hydralisks. Reavers crawling to their deaths. Ooh, always painful to see. This bitches just can't keep themselves under control. Always crawling a little bit too close to the sun. We have 7, 11, 15, 7. So we got a pretty decent number of production facilities there for 458. Not a lot, but it's enough. He's going to get more over time. 73 probes. Ooh, Reavers falling forward. He's getting scarab damage. Wait, that's plague for Burgersasu. The image for scarab damage and plague kind of looks the same to me. Maybe I'm just dumb and blind, but kind of looks the same to me. So Burgersasu there starts with a slow counter push. Side there has been cleared out. The Guardians are now coming in to swoop those Guardians and Reavers down after the storms have been used. As more storms are in the back though. There's a lot of storms. A lot of storms. And there comes Dragoon Reaver army from the back. Of course, in the sky. Sunkens roll around. Shuttle there flies in. There's just a distraction. Shuttle is just getting sent in. Same with these. This might actually... No. Oh, wait. It's a real one. He's going to try to get some shots off. Unloads too far away. Gets no kills. One Reaver there on the side. Going to try to shoot. Nope. Gets killed as well. The air is on 0-0. Dragoons are pushing forward. There's not many Sunkens left remaining here on the front side. But 408 does not have enough production facilities to really stay on high supply non-stop the entire game through. So you can see 150 supply. Just lost a lot of Reavers and Dragoons. Supply is very low. And Burgersasu there with a plague. It's only 3 units in an entire group. That's ridiculous. Great Storms on those Mutas morphing. Ooh, cannot bring them to safety. They all do go down. They all go down. Cannot bring them to safety. So now we got spores being built there on the sides. He's got huge overlord drop. No, he's splitting up overlords to get vision on the map. Maybe one overlord in there with a drone for maybe a Nidus canal somewhere, like build a hatchery and a Nidus somewhere on the map. Of course, is hunting down those overlords, getting more cannons yet again there on the side. Dragoons arriving on location there in the front. He might have to open up this hole and build new cannons behind this. Like now they have to walk around. It's not a very smooth move forward. So once again, getting cannons on the side. Guardians trying to stop that. Got 2 Devars as well in the sky. Burgersasu is taking it a bit slowly because he doesn't want to take any risks because he knows his hive is in danger. The hive is back on 507 though. We'll, I'd say in another 3 minutes be back on about 600. He's preparing another big drop. Reavers are grouping up on location. Courses are scouring the entire map looking for hatcheries, overlords, just taking away vision and taking away the danger of there maybe being a Nidus canal somewhere on the map that can backstab attack 458's main base. Couple new Sunkens there has to push back towards that choke yet again, the 3rd time this game that he's trying to get that choke up and running. Drop's getting picked up, is ready to go. Couple more Reavers ready to go, picks them up, flying to the top. Goes with a frontal attack to distract. Big drop there, grouping up in the top corner. He's trying to pull hydralisks to the front. Oh, Burgersasu lost a couple overlords, gets them back, just ensnare their way to go. Gets the ensnare, ooh. But now he has to pull. Oh, he's gonna get the kill on the hive. He's gonna get the kill. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. No, no. Oh, one more shot, one more shot. So he didn't get all scarab hits there off on the hive. A couple of them chased some drones, some other went on eggs and lurkers and hiders, so he couldn't quite get the kill on the hive. But he's making progress here on the middle, although actually not that much. Like this 1, 2, 3, 4 dead sunkens, did kill 5 dead sunkens, did kill a lot of lynx and hiders. So yeah, this is some progress. This is good progress here from 458. He's pushing forward slowly but surely. And he's getting more cannons back at home, just getting a little more defensive. He's still only on, yeah, 15, like 7, 11, 15 gateways. He has a lot of gas, a lot of gas. So he's putting all the gas into Guardians, and that was going to definitively clean out the sides. Definitively going to clean out those sides. 2 Corsairs moving to the top. I think the Guardians are going to clean this out before the Corsairs kill the Guardians. Likewise, these Guardians that are morphing right here are going to push towards the bottom side and clean that out. But this does look a little bit barren. Like, there's not a lot of Sunkens left. Like, he's got 3 right there, another number 4. Killing the 1 Spire for more space in his base. Oh, and he kills the Evo Chamber because he has 3/3 there. So that's a good choice. That's a good choice. Opening up some space for maybe spores or sunkens in the back. Keeping the Guardians in the back, actually, because he knows that the hive is very weak at this point, very easy to kill. Who's keeping Guardians in the back, all of the Guardians in the back, because he's expecting a shuttle drop to come and take the hive. And if the Guardians are in the back, they might be able to kill the Reavers as they unload before they can shoot, because that's a lot of Guardians doing a lot of damage. So drop comes in, gets ensnared, gets closer, unloads. Pretty far away, and the hive does, like, that's what I meant. Did you see that? Not a single scarab managed to land on the hive because the Reaver just died too quick. The Lurker Guardian combination took it all down very quickly and easily, and now that means Burgersasu can go for the push, but his Guardians are all balled up in one small tight space, not spread out at all, and the Templars get huge damage, like 20 dead Hydralisks, a couple dead Guardians. The Guardians are splitting up slowly, making sure that they can't get hit by all the storms all at the same time. And the Dragoons are finally gonna be on 2, 3, 3 within a couple of seconds, like I'd say 30 seconds, and they'll be on 2, 3, 3. So they will be able to match the upgrades Burgersasu has at the moment, because he's on 2, 2 for air, 3, 3 for ground. His upgrades are very good. Got another 18 Muletics on the way to keep that Guardian push going. Guardians in this situation are super good. Super good. On normal maps, they're not that great because they cost too much gas, but on fastest map in large numbers, they're absolutely amazing for specifically situations like this. Kills the Defiler before it can plague. That's huge. That's huge. Killing the Defiler before it can plague. Goes in for the kill on the Reavers in the back. Not sure if that's a very good use of the Mutalisk. That's kind of a waste. Does kill both of the Reavers. Actually, they got... Well, we unload a couple more Reavers, so yeah, that was a waste of Mutalisk. Guardians from the top side there, they're getting a great flank on the Dragoons, and on the bottom side is another Guardian there, waiting to take them all down. He's doing a great job. Go on, more Guardians morphing in the back. Reavers, though, clean out the ground, but the Guardians are cleaning out the Reavers. He's focusing on the Reavers. If the Reavers are dead and gone, he can maybe push forward with the Hydralisk, because then the AoE damage from the Reavers is no longer a factor. But more Reavers are on the way. 5 of them on the way, but they are still pretty far away in terms of how long it takes them to spawn and make their scarab. So the Templars are, in the end, the saving grace. A couple Templars here in the front, more Guardians going from the back, 1 Courser in the sky, Lurkers being pulled from the back to the front. He's just going for it. Burgersasu is going for it. If he can move out, push out, and kill all those robos, he no longer has to worry about his hive, because then there's going to be no shuttles, no Reavers. They can fly and kill his hive. So Burgersasu recognized the opportunity, pulled the Lurkers from the back to the front, into the middle, and he's now pushing into this proxy base. The Contain has been killed. Burgersasu's on fire. He's low on minerals, though. He's low on minerals. Like, he has 30 drones on the gas and 35 of them are on the minerals. It's not a lot of drones, but it's enough to scrape by. So after breaking the middle and killing the robos, he pulls the lurkers back because he is expecting a big drop, because he saw those shuttles leave towards 4v8's main base. He saw the shuttles leave, and now he feels like, okay, the lurkers have served a purpose. They've helped me break free into the middle and stop the production of reavers and shuttles from the robotics. Now I pull them back. Very, very smart detailed play there from Burgersasu. Very smart. He recognized what he had, used it, and put it back where he found it. Very smart stuff. You don't often see that, like details like that, like, oh, I got them lying around in the back, let's use them somewhere else for a little bit and pull them back. Most players would just keep them in the middle and try to force their advantage. It's like force their advantage. Forcing something doesn't always mean it's going to work. You got to put the right amount of pressure on it. Because too much pressure and it's going to pop. It's going to pop. That's not what you want. That's not what you want. So the goons pull back out of Dark Swarm range. Now 4v8 has to really quickly rebuild what he's lost. So he puts 6 robots there at his choke. He still has 15 gateways. He's getting more cannons and more robos, actually. More robos coming down there on the top side of his base. He's not building a proxy gateway base, which is something that I think would be pretty useful here, considering he only has 15 gateways, and he might need a proxy base at some point in the game. But it could be useful, that's what I'm saying, but he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He can win this game perfectly fine what he has. Lurkers in the front burrowing up. So he has like 36 lurkers at the moment. Maybe 24. Let's make it 24. He's got 24 lurkers. A lot of them there in the front to keep the enemy back. Now the Storm does kill a lot of lurkers in the Dark Swarm, and 4v8 decides to just move into the side, into the corner of Burgersasu's base, and kill whatever he can there in the top corner where there are no lurkers. But lurkers quickly relocate to surround that, and now the goons are trapped in that corner. They're just trapped. Like, goodbye. You tried, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. So getting a line of cannons on the top, he's just making it harder for Burgersasu to break into his base. He's trying to reinforce himself and defend himself, protect himself, and hopefully not lose the game. So we have 6, 13, but no, that's 12, excuse me, 12 robos, 15 gateways, 2 stargates, might need a little bit more gas. He's low on gas, just a little bit low on gas, but there's a big drop ready to go and take that hive down. It's going to fly in over pretty much everything. There's a lot of Scourge in between. I don't see a queen in the middle. So the queen can quickly maybe relocate and ensnare. Gets a couple Scourges on the shuttles. Drones are running to nowhere. You're going to unload right next to the hive den. Drones run to safety. Hive gets taken down. No. Ooh. One more shot. Just one more shot. 89 HP. That's very close. Like, all he needed was one more Scarab, and that hive would have been dead, gone, gonzo, dealt with, destroyed, destruction. And that still wouldn't mean that Burgersasu would lose the game, because he has 15,000 gas. It just means that he would have a smaller army, and maybe run out of money at some point. Like, there's 2 choices. Either stay on the amount of drones he currently has, and eventually run out of money, or get like 10, 12 more drones, and have a smaller army, but have a little bit more money. Maybe even 20 more drones, and have an even smaller army. So there's some tough choices to make when you lose your hive, but luckily Burgersasu has managed to keep the hive alive. He hasn't had to make those tough choices yet. So small little contain going on. There's no observer there in the front. He has an observatory here in the back. Right there, double observatories, making no observers, getting Scourges. He really wants that hive. I see him loading up another big Reaver drop. He really wants to take down that hive once and for all. Once and for all. So the Scourges are coming in to push Overlords away. We have Hylas there to kill Scourge. Burgersasu knew what was going to happen. And now the Overlords get control over this side. And he has control over the 12 o'clock side as well. A lot of vision. The shuttles are never going to get through without being seen, unless he sends out another wave of Corsairs to take down the Overlords. But then again, we still have those Hylisks ready to push away those Corsairs to protect that vision. So he has to contain, he's got vision, he has queens, he's got mulisks, he's got even more hatcheries. Like, this entire row is 15, another 7 on the top, so 22 hatcheries. A lot of production there from Burgersasu. Build a couple more Sunkens just to be sure. And yeah, he is ready to rock, ready to roll. Oh, we have these shuttles there going over the front. He's going to try to avoid the spores on the sides, but the queen moves into position, gets an ensnare on half, gets an ensnare on both. A couple highlights there, ready to snipe the shuttles. He's unloading prematurely. Reaver shoots. Hive, 15 HP. One more, and takes it down just on time. Takes it down just on time. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. But that was a lot of supply. A lot of supply. And he's still contained within his base. But look at this, a lot of cannons in the front. And a lot of Guardians morphing at the bottom. There are some Templars there at the Nexus, so the Guardians wouldn't be much of a problem, I believe. Also getting a large load of Corsairs ready to take down the Guardians. So yeah, 458 is in a really good spot. But Burgersasu is not dead yet. But he only has 65 drones, so he has to bank on this succeeding. Guardians pushing forward. Templars spawning. Templars are coming in to take down the Guardians. Guardians are pushing. Oh, this might not be the right choice. Burgersasu, I get what he's trying to do. He tried to break open a path for the Guardians to kill the Nexus. But, like, the plan was great. But he forced it. Too much pressure. He put too much pressure onto that move. I get what he was trying to do. And he can afford to lose the Guardians. Like, it was a bad move. I get what he was trying to do. He wanted to kill the Nexus. Like, fly in, kill the cannons, and hopefully kill the Nexus. But there were too many Dragoons spawning. Too many Corsairs, too many Templars. Which is doomed to fail. Which now means that 458 can try to go for a counter push. Because Burgers has lost like 50 supply. 48 to be exact, probably. 48 supply. Which he rebuilt within the blink of an eye because he has a lot of hatcheries. Like, he can rebuild his army within like 30 seconds. He's in a great spot. An absolutely amazing spot. Some more Mulists coming in. He needs some Devars this time as well. Like, yeah, get some Devars. That's gonna help. Because the Corsairs are a problem. It's not a lot of Corsairs. Well, okay, it's more Corsairs than before. We got like 7 right here. Another 4 there in the front. The Devars are doing their job. Great plagues on the Reavers, the Dragoons. Everything is getting plagued. Everything is getting weakened up. Which should give the Guardians the opportunity to push forward and destroy everything with ease. With ease, but relative ease or absolute ease. It's gonna be easy. Like, I'm struggling to find the words, but look at that all dying so easily. Beautiful. The ketchup is doing the job. Ketchup is doing the job. Plague is awesome. Maybe a little bit too awesome, but Plague is awesome. So now the Guardians are once again on the move, and we got the Varus there to protect against the Corsairs. He's Overlord blocked a little bit, just a little bit. We have a lot of Templars waiting here in the front. More Dragoons are on the way. We got Corsairs being built in the sky, still getting their attack upgrades because you're on level 2 attack, 1 armor. Not very awesome Corsair upgrades against the very awesome upgrades from Burgersasu. He's going to break through. Zerglings in the front. We have Defilers. No Defilers, but the Guardians are spread out quite nicely. Gonna get a great surround there to minimize the amount of storms that will hit the Guardian. But the storms are plentiful, so the storms are getting a lot of mileage. We're gonna observe there in the back, so the Lurker's not gonna be much of a problem. We got Reavers there waiting to throw their scarabs into the fray. More Guardians are splitting up. He really is splitting up quite nicely. Like, get all the Guardians kind of in this little box area right here. He's managed to surround the entire front, get a Dark Swarm up in the front, Lurkers underneath, but the Reavers in the back, gonna kill the Lurkers quite easily. Got the Corsairs in the sky. All those Guardians. Burgersasu though is steadily producing. His bank is growing smaller though. His bank is definitely growing smaller. Corsairs really don't stand a chance against the Devourers. The Guardians have achieved a lot. Like, this entire section of cannons is gone. But there's so many storms coming out of 458. Just so many storms. The Reavers are doing such a great job. It's very hard to break in. It's very hard to break in to this very small little area. Great plague though. That's a great plague. That's a good plague. If you can plague those Reavers in the back as well, he might be able to break through with the next wave of Guardians, which are all morphing right around the middle. Right there on the middle. So first, let's throw in a wave of Hydralisks to maybe kill... Well, no, not to kill. Probably to allow the Defiler to get close enough for a plague. And then come the Guardians. Although this time we got the Corsairs though, and no, the Varus have all been killed earlier. But the Hydras on the ground might be able to keep the Corsairs away. Great plague there on the Corsairs. Going to try to get another plague. Gets another beautiful plague there. Ooh, Grey Storm there. Splits up the Guardians. Minerals from Burgersasu are very, very low now. Very low. And, ooh, the plague in the back was a great one. But Burgersasu is not yet close enough to breaking through. Like, these Reavers can hold. Probably. Don't want to say certainly, but probably hold. Although, I'm wrong. Burgersasu with great target firing pushes forward as far as he can. Reavers all do go down. One Reaver is left alive there in the back. Crawls to safety into a shuttle. He's trying to do some shuttle Reaver micro there in the back. Will it save today? I don't know. Scourge is coming in. Hydras very slowly pushing forward. Burgersasu has 400 minerals. Oh, Burgersasu made the choice to stay on a low economy and try to play out the game with whatever he had left, but it isn't exactly working. I think he can no longer produce steadily enough. I mean, he does have the upper hand right here. He has the upper hand, but Reavers are spawning and being pulled towards the cannons. Dragoons are spawning in the back. Got a huge army of Zerglings coming across the map. Hylids in between. This, it's hard to call. It's hard to call. Managed to snipe some Reavers with the Mulas. The Mulas use is great. Gets us Templar snipe as well. Burgersasu his supply is lower than 458, but he's pushing forward. He's making it work. Reavers in the back getting targeted down by the Guardians. Reavers on the side, they're getting targeted down by the Zerglings and the Hylids. Now the robots are under attack. Reaver spawns. Reaver there, falling forward. Reaver shoots on some Hylids. Gets only one single kill. The sky has been cleared, but more Guardians morphing in the back. Getting attacked there by the Corsairs directly, pushing aside those Overlords. Burgersasu's supply is very low, very, very low, but 458 is losing production facilities in the front. But he's managing to buy himself just enough time. Drop. Not a drop. Okay. So Burgersasu pulled all of his drones off the gas, put them on the minerals to try and boost his minerals just a little bit. So 64 drones on the minerals, although like 4 or 5 are still mining gas. I think 458 has managed to survive this. Burgersasu without the hive, without the main, just simply cannot mine enough minerals quick enough to stay maxed out. And as you can see, he got down to 100 supply, leaves the game, doesn't call GG, leaves the game, and 458 manages to outlast Burgersasu after going through a lot of effort to kill that hive. And after he killed the hive, he managed to survive by the skin of his teeth. Like, barely managed to survive. Like, just barely managed to outlast Burgersasu. Very well played. So let's give him win number 2. And then say goodbye for now, because that means we're going to be going to game number 4, which should be coming up sometime this week. So please do look forward to that one. I had fun with this game. It was a pretty good game. We had some great focus on the hive drops, some great plays, some strategies for 458 that were in theory really good, but not exactly correctly executed. But eventually, through perseverance, he managed to find his way to the victory, which not a lot of people can do against Burgersasu Zerg. See you next time. It's RGB, and I'm signing out.